All right, now that the NCAA tournament has been set, it's time for a little in-depth analysis of the teams that we'll be seeing in the field of 68.
All right, joining us this morning to talk about everything March Madness is someone who's very familiar with playing in big games. We're talking about former Georgetown Hoya point guard Chris Wright. Chris Wright. It can't get much brighter. I just made that up. All right, thank you, Chris, for getting up and talking with us about this. So number one, we're going to go over, I know it's early. Who do you have in the final? Let's just get right to the final four. Just jump right to the final four, yes.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
I have Duke and Houston on one side, and then I have Auburn, and I'm a Big East guy, so I'm going St. John's.
St. John's, okay. And then who do you have winning the whole thing?
I have Auburn being a champion. You know, Auburn is the oldest team in college basketball this year.
I did not know that.
Auburn's have an average age of 23 years old.
Oh, so they're grown men.
Yeah, so seasoned. We got a seasoned team.
Grown men.
Well, now I don't want to say nothing.
I know, right? Let me refill out.
You can change it all the way up until the tip-off. So I have Auburn beating Houston in the championship.
Oh, you had it too?
Yeah, Auburn beating Houston in the championship.
Okay, they did some research,
yeah, exactly.
Well, we did too.
But so did we. That's right.
Go ahead, Allison.
Go ahead.
Me?
Go right to the championship.
All right, well, I have Duke winning over UConn.
Okay, and who do you have?
Well, that sounds like a familiar bracket because mine is Duke winning over UConn as well. Now, I know Duke has a favorable path.
Yes.
UConn has, 6 national championships under their belt. Duke has 5. So I went with Duke because within that big dog story, there is the underdog Duke who needs that 6th.
Right, yeah. I think Duke is a great pick. They're losing. If Cooper Flagg comes back, who's their projected #1 pick going into the draft this year, if he comes back, then you guys have that's a great pick.
Right.
But I don't know. UConn is having a little bit of down year. They don't have the superstar power that they had in the past 2 years.
They won back-to-back.
They won back-to-back, so it's kind of tough to win three-peat, you know. So
as we saw in the
But you know what, Chris? It's tough to win back-to-back, and they've proven they can do that, so they might be able to do it for a third time.
It's not too late to change your pick to ours.
Well, we can change.
Matter of fact, can you just fill it out for me?
Real quick before we run out of time, let's talk about the locals. We got VCU versus BYU.
Yes.
We got AU versus Mount St. Mary's. And then we have Norfolk versus Florida. So let's dive into those
leave Norfolk off of it.
Come on, now they're in the tournament. They're in the tournament. So let's start with VCU versus BYU.
I don't want the shame.
I was rooting for George Mason.
So we
all were.
I was rooting for George Mason at 8-10. Unfortunately, lost. It's a lot of local guys on the team, but I'm going VCU.
VCU
for upset.
Okay.
I'm going VCU for upset.
All right.
And
AU versus Mount St. Mary's.
Coach Simpkins is rolling over there.
Okay.
I'm going American University.
Okay. And then Florida versus Norfolk. I know Florida's
Don't do it.
Now I will say this on the women's side.
Yeah.
I think Maryland has to pay attention to Norfolk State.
Okay.
Because I think they're a team to upset, but right now I don't think anybody beat. They're not going to be
Jonathan
Florida.
has Maryland going all the way.
And I love that hometown pick. Chris Wright, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. And then if you have time, he can join us when it actually gets started and give us some insight into what's going on.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
No problem. Thank you.
And we're going to dive further into his brackets as well. Maybe we can get some. It's not too late to change it.
I'll just make a copy.